I got involved in Slovenia quite by accident. En route home from one of my trips to Romania, we came up through Serbia. We were then redirected up through Hungary, and we came then from Hungary into Slovenia. And when I arrived, I identified a variety of problems where I felt that we could help with the materials that we had available to us. We're watching the news reels, and I saw that anesthetics were in short supply in Bosnia, and that children were suffering. The children were getting shrapnel pulled out of their legs without this anesthetic. I could see the variety of needs within these different camps. That morale was very, very low. I had said then what they needed was perhaps a band to come over. So then, when I arrived home, I spoke to a variety of bands and asked them if they would be interested in joining me on the next aid mission to Yugoslavia, which was going to be specifically to Slovenia at that time, to help with the refugees in any way that we could. Through a variety of fundraising concerts that we did together, we contacted churches and other organisations and companies who all were very willing to help me by donations of money and materials. We gathered up enough money to buy the drugs from the Belfast City Hospital pharmacy. First it volunteered their van to carry our equipment and our luggage and what have you. And I hired a bus from the North Belfast Community Transport to take what was to be 22 people. So we squeezed 22 people and some of their luggage into a 17-seater Mercedes. Well, the first problem we encountered was any medical supplies we had on board had to be approved by a doctor. No doctors were available to approve them.
Right. Can't be helped. These things are circumstantial. But if we take it to Split, we could organise with the Islamic Relief to pick it up from Split and bring it back.
No, you don't have to do that. You see, all you have to do is say that it's in transit to Split, and then still give it to the Islamic Relief, because they would get the customs things fixed up from Ljubljana. They then told me that if we were to have the drugs in transit through their country, going somewhere else, like Split, that they would let me bring them in, provided that I would ensure that they went out the other side.
And where are you going with this aid?
Split.
Split. Which organization?
The UN, well, it's the Royal Irish Regiment. So then I had to tell them that that we're gonna be in transit, and that my idea then was to sort it out once we got into the country. I thought the Islamic Relief people or the International Red Cross could help us out once we got to Ljubljana.
But you said that you go with this aid to Ljubljana.
No, the Islamic Relief Organization, it's a Bosnian organization, operate from Ljubljana to Bosnia.
And with this aid, you are going to Split now.
No,
yes.
we're going to Split to play for our troops, because we're bands, we're 3 bands, we're musicians.
Yes.
And we brought the drugs with us because we were going to play for the troops. I didn't want to say any more to them than that we had to.
Yeah.
Whenever they said, right, will you take it in transit? I didn't want to know anything about the in-betweens.
Yeah.
We get there, the Islamic Relief, Mishan and I, we'll sort it out at his end. This is where they treat people for free. Anybody that comes from Bosnia needs any sort of treatment of any kind are treated here for free. The Slovenian government said that I've given them a roof over their heads and a meal a day, but it wouldn't look after their medical needs. So the Islamic Relief have decided that they would do that, and we've tried to help them. And this is a part of that. We're going to the warehouse of the Islamic Relief Organization to offload the drugs that we have on board. And they're going to sort out the documentation with the customs, make sure that they can hold on to them and that we can get out of the country again. Although I don't see that it's a problem getting out of the country, because we're going out for a different border and no one's going to know that we left the drugs behind, because I don't believe there have that sort of contact between the different border posts. We've had to change plans so many times on this, but then again it's all due to the situation in the country as well, because things change by the hour, not by the day, by the hour. All of a sudden, everything can be great, so it's safe to go down all these different avenues, and then the next minute you can't, because there's bombing or there's killing or there's bureaucracy. So we'll spend the time as productively as we can. We'll go down and have some fun with the Bosnian refugees and their children. We'll play to them, or buy a few bags of sweets out here and there, talk to them, and just try and make a difference in the day for them. That's really what we want to do, is just make a difference in their lives for a bit of a short time.
Let's go over now to Rob. Rob, how you doing? You just got in.
Yeah, we just arrived from.
You just arrived from
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and you came up through Paris or Belgium?
Belgium, Germany, Austria.
Yeah?
Slovenia.
And you're hoping to play some music with the band?
We hope to do get some gigs in the K4 and scouts and a refugee centre in Ljubljana.
Have you ever played for so many children?
Never played for any children?
I don't think we've played this many people for a while.
So this concert tonight is actually a part of your European tour.
European
Is that
tour.
right?
Yeah. We enjoy doing it, and we hope other people enjoy watching us doing it, if you know what I mean, and enjoy what we do.
So you're doing it to have fun, to spread the religion.
Yeah. First the religion, basically.
Yeah,
And then have a good laugh doing it.
Are you going to make these records?
We'd like to. If we had the money, we're very broke. Very broke.
Some record company would sign us.
Yes.
It was an excellent night. I think it was very well done. I would say give everybody up. Everybody would wake up to land daily. But it was a job. It was a job well done, and it wasn't a job that we could have done without the prayer that we had last night. And I do believe that that actually brought it all together. Look at what 10 minutes prayer did. So we'll go into give it another 10 minutes now tonight. Just about tomorrow. Perhaps some thanks. We'll start with thanks for the day and finish off with asking the Lord to be with us tomorrow and give us a repeat of the day. You don't really know the effect that you've had on those kids. Some of those kids didn't have mothers or fathers or whatever. They've had really bad experiences with them. So I think really our aim when we started off was to make a difference in people's lives. We couldn't gauge what difference it was going to be, but I really do feel that we have made a difference in people's lives tonight.
Clouds coming right over the top of us. No, but the clouds, I think, are going more that way. Grant, it's up when you come out of it, you see the clouds could be going a different direction from what the wind we're getting. Depends how high they are. Drop the wave, it's a favour.
The lightning, the last lot of lightning
started over there.
The last lot of lightning.
Some was splitting the trees, it was up in the 80s, you know. We got here, all of us jumped out of the van, kids came around usual, you know, talking away to them, carrying on, drinking about. Next thing, thunder and lightning struck, you know, like something out of a Steven Spielberg film, you know. But it was serious, it was just like empty, the heavens just empty. You can see on up there, like, you know, it's just like a flood the whole way up the whole rank for that. The rain was actually bouncing off the ground, and sand and all was coming up with it. It was horrific, you know, terrible looking.
We've had a great day. Heat's been fantastic. We had a good day in town. Oh no, take it back. Weather-wise now we're a little bit worried that it might sort of lash down on us, but we'll just have to have a wee bit of prayer about it. And hopefully it'll all come together.
My name is Alma Durakovic and I'm from Sarajevo, and I come here for 1 year, and I come here with my son, my husband, brother, mother, father. They stay in Sarajevo, and I don't nothing listen about there.
It's very clear the Slovenian government made clear they don't want integration of these people. But I think that this is a bit of a mistake, because if one doesn't help them to get some own economy, to get some money and to have a basis of existence here, it is very difficult for them to go back after the war, because they have to start without anything there.
What do you think needs to be done for the refugees in Slovenia?
When we were there, we identified several areas where help was needed, or aid, a form of aid. 4 areas being that the refugees need to be fed, they need employment, and they need a source of revenue for themselves. The buildings that they live in are in pretty bad state of disrepair. So we've looked at this, and we've now said to ourselves, right, let's try and give them the means to cater for themselves.
They call them temporary refugees, even if the situation is going on for over a year now, and they want that they can return easily afterwards. So they don't want that they step in here, that they have roots here. And that is why the people are not allowed to work and to earn own money. And that is why they live in centers and get food provided, and one doesn't make an effort to let them make their own food.
Have access to 2 ovens that'll make 90 loaves of bread an hour, and 2 generators and a Land Rover that I intend to bring over early September. This will enable them, 1, it'll give them employment, 2, it'll enable them to feed themselves, and 3, it'll give them a source of revenue so that they can then buy the things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get.
It would be that the refugees wouldn't be a burden anymore, but they would be a help.
The people that we're trying to help here are really the truly innocent victims, the wives and the children of the men that are fighting, and they're going to be away from home now until the war ends, and even beyond that. They don't have a home to go back to. Their homes and their villages are destroyed.
I'm very worried for my parents and my husband, my brother, and my house is broke. I don't. It is not good in Slovenia. I don't like Ljubljana. I like Sarajevo.
Back home, I would be classed as not having a big income, one of the low earners, not much disposable income. But I have an awful lot compared to the people that I've seen. What we've done for those kids was worth more than you could ever have put a value on a monetary term. You could never have paid for that satisfaction, that feeling.
Well, we didn't come out here to evangelise the whole of Ljubljana in Germany. We came out here to try and make a difference, to actually make a difference in people's lives, to show them that there's a Christian viewpoint, to show them that there's a Christ there and a Jesus that's as alive today as he was 2,000 years ago.
Don't you think that it's a little funny that the trash bands, plays for Jesus?
Yeah, that's what I say. Well, why not? I mean,
Even thrash people need Jesus.
Those people we played in, when the rain came down, pulled their bedclothes out to put over our equipment.
The people there were standing in the pouring rain waiting for us to start playing, and I just felt, well, we couldn't let them down. We had to carry on and play, and they really appreciated it, and they stood there. The kids really enjoyed it, so I felt that we had achieved our purpose, which was to make a difference in their lives.
And now a rock group will provide some entertainment, which I think is somewhat better than an army.
It's not the only one rock group, it's 3 of them.
3 bands. One is called Noah's Ark. Hey! One is called the One Way Blues Band, and there's a thrash band here called Redeemer. This is the largest gentleman I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a guitar look so small? What a winner! It's a monkey business, as my friend says. You're playing first, I believe?
Yeah, we're on first. Gonna make a racket.
So what do you think about these refugees? Do you think that they look well?
I think they look very well.
Healthy and happy?
Yeah, I think they're getting there, you know. I mean, the reports we get back home are, you know, all we see is people bundling their children on the wagons, and it's just really hard to take in sometimes. And we come here, and I haven't seen a sad face since I've come here. And the kids, you know, they enjoy themselves. The people where we live could learn an awful lot from them. They're wonderful people.
How did they expect you? Were they glad that you were here? Were they happy?
That's what they seem to enjoy it, you know. They seem to like making fun of me because of the size of me and the shape. So I don't mind that. I get it from these guys.
If your band is the Noah Ark, then you must be elephant.
Yeah, I'm the elephant or the hippopotamus, whichever you like.
And this must be other animals.
Yeah. This is a slithery eel. Oh, thank you. There you go. And this is a little known animal which is very rare in the world. It's called a skin basher.
He looks dangerous.
He's very dangerous. He'd bite your head off. Big nasty teeth.
Where's Davey? Davey is
There's another guy you've got to meet.
Dave!
Davey Morrow.
Dave, is that the guy?
Small little person.
You see this small little person over here? Up you go. Oh, one manager.
One manager.
Noah's Ark.
Hello.
Hello.
Which animal are you?
Pardon?
Which animal are you?
Any animal you want me to be?
Okay, here is any animal I want him to be.
Baby, speak to me, man. Yes, what do you want to ask me?
I want to ask all of you actually, what was your motive for coming here? You know, because a lot of bands play for Bosnia, but not many of them come to the refugee center.
Well, a lot of people will play for Bosnia, but we want people to come out here. You know, all we wanted to do was come out and play to them, as apart from playing for them, because playing for them is one thing, but actually to come out and to put a bit of light in their lives as opposed to just sending them a few pounds. We wanted to bring some sweets out for the kids and some whatever, you know, stuff we take for granted back home. So I've done all the talking. I've let these guys talk.
Has that something to do with religion, maybe?
Well, we are a Christian rock band. Back home, we're used to playing the church halls and stuff, you know, kids that come in off the street and play our music and then witness about the Lord and the God in whom we serve, trying to put across the message of love, because Northern Ireland too, and not on such a wild scale as this, is having problems over the sake of religion. But a lot of people seem to claim that they're doing a lot of things in the name of God. But then again, what's God got to say about it? Because if Jesus was on the earth, would he have let his disciples go out there and butcher people and things like that? You know, this is what we got to put across, is that if you claim to follow God, then you've got to put across that Jesus loves people. He came to set them free from sin, not to kick people out of other countries. Christianity, the gospel of Christ, is about love and about salvation. It's getting right with God. And if people claim to be that they're fighting for God and they're fighting for this, that and the other, and they put God at the head of it all, and yet they're doing such ungodly acts, is the only way of putting it across, well then there's something wrong there. You know, there really is something wrong there. And all I can say is this: would Christ have done it when he was on the earth? And that's the only way. But back home in Northern Ireland, we're a Christian band, we witness the kids and tell them about the Lord Jesus Christ. We don't ram it down their throats. If they want to come along, no problem. Today, we're just going to sing for the kids and play. And if they want to ask us about our faith, no problem, we'll share the Lord with them. Because Christ died for all. In Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And in John 3 and 16, for God so loved the world, not Northern Ireland, not just Bosnia, not South Africa, but for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That's so.
He's not so dangerous.
No, I'm not so dangerous after all. I just talk an awful lot.
Nice, actually.
He's a nice guy. So hold on now. I'll hand you over to the bass player who hasn't got a word in edgewise. No.
I have no more to add that.
How did you three bands get together? You play very different styles of music.
Yeah, back in Northern Ireland, there's quite a few bands doing the same thing as what we were, all in different styles. And just per chance one day we all ended up actually playing together. This all came around, and the way the three bands had played together beforehand, but decided it was a good idea to take the whole thing on the road. So with it being so diverse, with you have like a rock band and a rock and roll band and a thrash band, you kind of cater for everybody. If it had been 3 thrash bands, you played a very, very limited audience. And to have just 3 rock bands, same again, and rock and roll band, same again. But because we have a diverse, hopefully we'll be able to please about 99% of the people here and put a smile on their face at least, you know. If we can get any
We're going to have a game of tug of war at the end of it all.
Yes, tug of war is the final challenge.
3 bands will take on the people for a game of tug of war.
Come over here and meet. This is Redeemer. Who will introduce themselves. This is Mateo. I'll get out of here.
Here we are.
That's enough of me.
This is another band. How are you? Welcome here.
Thanks.
What's your name again?
Redeemer.
And what kind of music do you play? You are a thrash band, right?
Yeah, sort of Metallica, sort of, a wee bit. Pantera.
So how do you like it here? What do you say?
It's really relaxing. It's hot.
A lot of children, huh? Have you ever played for so many children?
Not
played for any children?
I don't think we've played this many people for a while.
So this concert tonight is actually a part of your European tour.
European tour.
Right?
Yeah.
But they are not concerts for refugees all over Europe, are they?
Well, we're hoping to play. What's it called? The K Club.
K4.
K4. We were hoping to play up, but it's looking.
They are in a very bad financial situation, I heard.
Well, we didn't know that, but.
No, I mean the other concert, European concert.
In Germany, no, I don't think they're for refugees, no.
We're playing Germany.
What kind of tour is it? You know, 3 bands, different styles of music, traveling together, having concerts. You know.
What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, what's the idea?
What's the idea?
Jesus. Well, there's about you. Let him.
Jesus.
We're just here just to bring relief to the children and stuff, just for some light entertainment, because they've been going through quite a rough patch of it, really.
Yeah, and what kind of places do you usually have concerts in other countries?
Bars. Yeah, we usually play in bars and stuff and clubs.
Just to relax people. Just to relax people, to make them love Jesus. Is that right? Did I get the idea?
We enjoy doing it, and we hope other people enjoy watching us doing it, if you know what I mean, and enjoy what we do.
So you're doing it to have fun, to spread religion.
Yeah. First the religion, basically.
Yeah,
and then have a good laugh doing it.
So how do you do that through music? Do you have lyrics like that? Dave?
Yeah, well, some of them are Christian, but a lot of them are like social issues. Hey.
It's a Christian viewpoint.
Yeah.
Like about the things that go on in the world, but seen from a Christian viewpoint.
How we feel about things, basically.
Yeah.
How do you feel about things, basically?
Well,
it is you're talking
we wish people would stop killing each other, probably would be nice.
Yeah.
And everybody could get on. Peace, pacifism.
You think you can change something?
Us by ourselves?
Yes.
We can't change the world, we can change
You can change
make a small
something.
difference.
Living in Northern Ireland's hard enough. You can't,
people are narrow-minded.
People are very narrow-minded.
But we can change the world through one man.
Yeah.
Our leader. Are you going to make some records?
Would like to. If we had the money, we're very broke. Very broke.
Some record company would sign us.
Yes.
Maybe church can do it.
Well, we've got a tape out at the minute. It's not exactly what we wanted, but it's okay.
So
Yeah.
that would help, to have a record. Okay, I wish you a lot of luck. Have a very nice night here.
Thank you.
And let's go to another band.
You're beautiful.
Thanks a lot. I wish I could say that for you.
I know. I was born like this.
Okay, so...
It's really noisy. This is
For Bosnia. Because I thought Bosnians all have little beards. And I wanted them to feel that I was one of them.
Okay.
Oh, right, that was pretty spontaneous.
So this is the guy. I finally found him.
Okay.
I will try not to forget.
This woman had her car rolled over by a tank.
Yes,
great.
Yes. It was 10 of them. 10?
10 tanks?
10 bloody tanks.
That's cracker. I was actually
They
down.
ruined my car called Yugo.
Okay.
I had Yugo card and it was ruined by Yugoslav army. Can you imagine?
Right, you want to start then?
My car was destroyed by my own country people 2 weeks ago. And mine was a Volvo.
I have a new one now.
Oh,
What
you're-
about you?
No, my government are going to buy me a new one.
I have a better one now.
Well, I don't have a car at all.
Oh, is this working now? Okay. So this is the guy who organized this thing. And was this your idea?
Yes, I came here in September, quite by accident, bringing some relief aid to Bosnia. And I discovered Ljubljana and the Roshka Center. And I thought this would be a good place for a concert.
And you have a band.
And I have a band called the One Way Blues Band.
The One Way Blues Band.
Yeah, we do Christian blues.
What kind of blues?
Christian blues.
Christian blues, yes. I
Well,
talked with other bands because you brought with you 2 other bands.
Yeah.
And they all mentioned religion. Explain this, a little more.
Well, we are all guys from different walks of life. We all are Christians, which means we're born again. We believe Jesus is our Savior. And we believe in going about and telling people about the good news. But this...
Good news?
Good news, yeah, that Jesus lives. Jesus lives, and that it's because of him that we are together. And it's because of him, I mean, we're all pretty radical people. We come from different walks of life. Like I say, most of my band are all bikers. Most of these guys here are all really heavy metalers. The thrash guys, really unique in our own country.
Don't you think that it's a little funny that the trash bands, plays for Jesus?
Yeah, that's what I say. Well, why not? I mean, even thrash people need Jesus. I know, yeah.
Everybody needs Jesus. So how do you explain war?
How to explain war?
If Jesus lives, there should be no war.
Exactly. And what we're trying to do is introduce them into every situation. Look at our own country. Our own country is we've been fighting now for 20 years. And we don't want to see that in the former Yugoslavia. We want to see peace here. And certainly the people that we've met here have been really brilliant, really lovely people, very nice. They would talk to you, they'd put you up in their houses, they'd like to come and play in places like this. They send along beautiful people like you. Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, don't listen.
But why are you so interested in Yugoslavia? There is a lot of wars going on around.
Yugoslavia happened because I was on my way back home from Romania. And I discovered this place.
In the middle of Europe?
In the middle of Europe. And it just seemed the right place to come to. Because, like I say, the people that we met were so good to us and we thought, well, right, we'd like to bring our bands here. And I says, okay, bring them. So we came here to play in the K4 club, but it didn't work out.
They didn't want them. So what do you think of these refugees? Do you think that we take good care of them?
I think he's taking very good care of them. These are very kind people. And where would the refugees be if it wasn't for the Slovenian government looking after them and giving them accommodation here and even letting bands come to play for them? Not everybody would do that. Not everybody would do that.
No,
I think you're showing a lot of love. I mean, you aren't the cold people that people might think you were, because you are very loving, aren't you? Would you not say? Sorry, it's probably the way I put it. Would you not say you're very loving people?
Oh.
In your experience here in Slovenia.
My experience here in Slovenia is that this is a very small country.
Yeah, with lots of lovely, lovely people in it.
I hope so. How is your experience? I mean, you were on tour over Europe, is that right? What were your experiences comparing with other countries?
Well,
were they not nice to you?
Yes, great. Germany's lovely and the people are great. Austria's lovely and the people are great. But Slovenia is brilliant and the people are fantastic. Like you.
I don't believe this.
It's true. I'm told not to look at the camera.
But you're not going to Bosnia, are you?
I would love to go to Bosnia, but unfortunately the Army and the UN and the Red Cross have said we can't go.
Why not? Did they tell you?
Yeah, we were due to go to Vitesse. We were due to go first of all to Tuzla, but then Tuzla got surrounded and they told us we couldn't go there, but we could go to Vitesse. And last Tuesday, Vitesse was bombed and 200 people were killed. So then they radioed me and they says, no, will you go to Split? And now we can't get to Split because we haven't got the time.
You have some other concert in other countries.
Yeah,
where are you going?
We go to Stuttgart. From here, we play in Stuttgart on Thursday and Friday. And then we go to play in Luxembourg on Saturday. And then we're home on Sunday.
You are home on Sunday, and then?
And then I leave next month for Romania.
What are you going to do there?
Well, I'm going to build a playground.
What kind of?
For an orphanage. We do lots of work with orphans and things. So I'm bringing 35 people to Romania to build a playground for an orphanage.
I must say I'm very surprised that the rock band would do something like that. And I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Do you want to come and build a playground with us?
I think I enjoy more working reports with bands like you.
All right. Good.
So thank you very much. And
thank
here
you.
is another guy. I want to introduce him to come in front of the camera.
Okay.
So this is a member of a TV crew which is working for us tonight, because we don't have our TV crew, but we have English TV crew once for a change.
Irish TV crew, perhaps. Yes.
And this is the sound man.
That's right, sound man. I look after the sound to make sure everything's working. This is our microphone.
But in a private life, he's a DJ.
That's right, a radio program once every week.
That's just great. And how did you get together with this band?
Well, the program I do is a magazine program, something similar to your television program, except it's on the radio. And, well, I interviewed the bands, I get to know them, and they invited me along to make some TV programs, some radio programs.
TV program for who?
Well, we're hoping that when we get back to Ireland, that we're going to be able to sell the program to our local television station, and also I'm hoping to make a radio program to be broadcast across Ireland on the Irish radio program.
So this is, we will be covered on Ireland, all over Ireland.
That's right, yes.
So what's happening here tonight is going to, how shall I put it? It's going to be part of a program for Irish people.
That's right. I interviewed this lady. I interviewed her, so she will be on Irish radio in Belfast.
Okay.
local rock gospel bands Noah's Ark, Redeemer and the One Way Blues Band are heading off for a European tour later this week. And on the line now is David Ferguson, the lead guitarist with the One Way Blues Band. Welcome to Roxville, David.
Hello, Tony. What about you?
Very well. Where exactly will you be going this week?
Well, we'll be going, let's say, to a couple of places in Germany. We'll be going to Split in Croatia. And we'll be going to Ljubljana, which is in Slovenia, the northwestern province of what was Yugoslavia.
So why did you decide to go to the former Yugoslavia, especially at this time? You know, the pictures we're seeing on the television look like it's a fairly dangerous place to be.
Well, actually, our original plan had been to go right into Bosnia, where the fighting is. The army had invited us to play for them in Vitez, but obviously following the vicious things that have been happening there, that was just completely out of the question. So in fact, they asked us, what's the purpose of your visit here, kind of thing, in a fax. And so we changed around and decided that perhaps Split would be a better idea. It all sort of arose basically because when we played in Conlig, of all places, a German girl who was over here from Summerserve, she heard us and she thought we were great and decided that it would be a great idea to invite us over to Germany.
Yes.
And Robert, our bassist, who goes all over the place on aid trips and whatnot, he brought them a tape and played it for them. And on one of his last aid trips, he played the tape for people in Slovenia and in Luxembourg and all these other places. And basically, we thought that perhaps we could string together a tour, and it all just came together.
Right. And who will you be playing to in Croatia and Slovenia?
Well, we'll be playing to the army in Croatia and perhaps to some refugees. It depends if there happen to be any there. In Slovenia, we definitely know that we're playing for refugees. And we'll also be playing in a place called the K4 Club, which used to be a nuclear fallout shelter. I was able to visit it on the last aid trip that I went along. And it has a tremendous atmosphere. On the other hand, the refugee camp used to be a barracks, and it was quite a contrast.
Well, in what way will your concerts be different from something, say, you would do in Conlig? If you're playing to refugees, people who have lost everything, and people who are fighting in a war, in what way will your presentation be different, David?
Well, obviously, we can't afford to be glib about anything. People over here, I think very much whenever you're playing to them, you're playing to people who have heard the message of the gospel over and over and over again. Now, over in Slovenia, a lot of the people that we'll be playing to come from either a Muslim or a Catholic background, and that in a country which has had any kind of religion very much suppressed over the years, that it was communist.
Yes.
And so things are obviously going to be completely different there. We have to be careful not to tread on toes or to say things that are really insensitive.
Yes.
We don't want to be strung up by the Muslims in particular. We really don't want to offend them. And so we have to find some sensitive way to bring the message of the gospel over to them.
Well, what would you hope to achieve on the tour? What would be your greatest hope?
Well, there are so many things that we could achieve. Now, we're playing, beyond the things that we normally set out to achieve when we play anyway. We're playing in a mission in Germany. We want to see people become Christian at that. We're bringing along a TV camera with us. The BBC and ITV have been competing for the opportunity to show a fly-on-the-wall documentary of the trip whenever we come back.
Yes.
And it would be a nice thing if somehow we had a really good witness coming across over that.
Yes.
We've been a bit apprehensive because obviously whenever it comes to editing, out of X number of hours material, they're only going to be able to show maybe half an hour.
You have to be on good behaviour, David.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
So when would that be screened, do you think?
It'll be screened, I think, sometime in July.
And are the One Way Blues Band and the other bands planning to do this sort of thing again at any stage in the future?
Well, just for the present, we're treating it as if it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, although it would be tremendous, obviously, if we could get to do it again.
Right, well, thanks very much for telling us about it this afternoon, David, and all the best to yourself and all the bands involved, and take care while you're over there.
Thanks very much.
Okay, all the best. Bye.
Crimson tide for all of us. His pain Give your